Happening now, a major escalation in President Trump's trade war with Mexico and Canada.
Happening right now, we're witnessing a seismic shift in North American trade. For decades, Canada and the US were inseparable partners. Nearly three-quarters of Canada's exports flowed straight across the border, fueling factories, jobs, and communities on both sides. But in 2025, that once rock-solid alliance is cracking under unprecedented pressure from Washington. It all begins with President Trump's most sweeping tariff offensive, yet unleashing levies that reach far beyond steel and aluminum. Back in March, the White House slapped a 25% fee on all Canadian steel and aluminum, and not long after, quietly doubled that to 50%. Imagine, half the cost tacked onto critical building materials overnight. Consumers brace for price tag shock. Construction projects everywhere gasp at the sticker shock. Next came threats of a 25% tariff on Canadian cars and parts, unless they're built south of the border, of course. Then a surprise 10% energy levy on oil and gas exports. For many businesses, it wasn't just another policy shift. It was the last straw. Our relationship with the US is over, Canada's Prime Minister declared on camera in Washington, sending a jolt through markets worldwide. And what followed was nothing short of dramatic. Across Canada, companies scrambled to rewrite their future. A biotech firm in British Columbia pivoted its vaccine trials towards Southeast Asia. A Toronto label printing plant slashed US prices just to clear warehouse stock. A Montreal steel supplier warned American clients' prices are doubling, no negotiations. Before we dive deeper, hit that like button to help Global Pulse climb the algorithm and stay with us, because this story only intensifies. Fear of unpredictability has become the new normal. If Ottawa can't predict tomorrow's tariff list, why keep shipping south? That anxiety is reshaping Canada's economic map. No longer waiting for the next blow, Canada is actively forging fresh alliances. Late last year, it inked a landmark trade deal with Indonesia, bringing together over 280 million consumers and slashing 90% of tariffs on Indonesian exports. It was a bold statement. If the US won't play fair, we'll find trustworthy partners elsewhere. Meanwhile, in the face of US withdrawals from trade pacts, Canada doubled down on its Indo-Pacific strategy too. $3 billion invested, targeting 40 nations and over 4 billion people. This isn't just diversification, it's an insurance policy against future volatility. By mid-2023, foreign direct investment in Canada soared past $50 billion, a 9% jump, while US FDI fell by nearly 30%. The message was clear. Global investors crave stability, and Canada's pitching it hard. Even in retaliation, Ottawa kept its cool. As Trump threatened 10% tariffs on Canadian oil, Canada quietly targeted certain US energy imports, not with grandstanding, but precise measures. The contrast couldn't be starker. One side broadcasting chaos, the other building measured defenses. Let's talk autos. Major manufacturers warned that a 25-car tariff would add thousands to every vehicle. Ferrari preemptively hiked US prices by 10%. Rumours swirled that Honda was reconsidering a $15 billion EV plant in Ontario, not because of Canadian policy, but due to American uncertainty. US auto groups from Michigan to Missouri pleaded with the president, "Don't torpedo your own backyard. 1 in 5 Michigan jobs depends on cars." Yet the avalanche kept coming, and global firms quietly redrew their roadmaps. Taiwanese tech giant Foxconn publicly announced diversifying beyond the US. Semiconductor leaders eyed Canadian research hubs. European battery makers committed billions north of the border. Trade isn't just about rules on paper, it's built on trust. And at this moment, Canada is winning trust, even as its economy weathers tariff shocks. Late last year, Canada's GDP grew at a 2. 6 annualized pace-beating forecasts, and while 75. 9 of exports still headed to the US. That share is steadily slipping. Meanwhile, American exports to Canada dipped over 1. The pain is spreading south. Florida orange growers, Kentucky bourbon distillers, Pennsylvania steel distributors, everyone's feeling the backlash. And from the White House, more threats. New levies teased in private, ad-lib jokes about making Canada the 51st state. But in boardrooms from Berlin to Tokyo, executives aren't laughing. As Canada deepens ties with the EU, Japan, Australia, and India, it's branding itself as a rock-solid, treaty-backed partner. Let's pause if you haven't subscribed yet. Now's the moment. Stick around for the surprising twists ahead. Because here's the hard truth. Tariffs don't just punish foreign exporters. They hit domestic consumers too. Americans are already seeing higher grocery bills, pricier fuel, and sticker shock at the dealership. Canada's biggest union denounced the US tariffs as economic sabotage, arguing they undercut manufacturing on both sides of the border. Companies that once took the US market for granted are now recalibrating scaling back US sales, setting up offices in Berlin, Jakarta, Dubai, instead of Buffalo or Chicago. Your government chose to make you pay more, one Canadian CEO told American clients. Some walked away. Others swallowed the extra cost. So the real question isn't whether Canada can decouple, it's how fast. As this trade war rages, the contrast in strategies couldn't be sharper. Washington building walls, Ottawa forging bridges. And in today's global economy, walls don't protect, they isolate. If predictability is the new currency, Canada just minted a fortune. The world is watching, because when one side bet everything on volatility and the other on stability, the winner becomes impossible to ignore.